The long-awaited video is finally here. Today I'm speaking to you about understanding land measurements. Whether you're somebody who is into real estate, you want to invest your money, or you just want to buy your land, or even sell the land that you have, you really must understand land measurements, because if you do not understand how land is measured, you can easily be cheated, you can make avoidable mistakes. I'm going to give you 10 things you need to understand about the measurements of land in Uganda. Number one, you need to understand that in Uganda, land is measured in hectares, in acres, in square miles, in feet, and in meters. Point number two, you need to understand that for land that has titles, that is land that is registered with the Ministry of Lands, it is always measured in hectares. For example, on the first page of a freehold title, you will find land with an HA. For example, 0.045 HA. HA stands for hectares. If it is a private mile land title, it is always on page number 2. You'll still find, let's say, 0.046 HA. That is actually 50 by 100 plot, which corresponds to around 11.5 decimals. Point number 3, in Uganda there is a common misunderstanding. People tend to think that every small plot is a 50 by 100 plot, and one that is a bit larger is 100 by 100. So you'll find even somebody who has a very small plot that is, let's say, half of a 50 by 100, when they are marketing, they will say 50 by 100. And any big plot, they say 100 by 100. So there are many people that get confused. Somebody tells me, Robert, why are you selling a plot of 50 by 100 in Uganda at 25 million? And there is someone else who is selling also a 50 by 100 in Uganda at 20 million, a difference of 5 million. Aren't you cheating us? But sometimes I ask them, bring the title of that person and we look at the size. Sometimes when you look at the size, you're amazed. You find it is actually like 3/4 or even half of a 50 by 100 plot. So do not be deceived that any small plot is 50 by 100 and one that is larger is 100 by 100. There are even those that are in between. There are even those that are larger than 100 by 100. So it is better for you to have sizes in your mind, and where you're not sure, you can consult so that you always know exactly the size you are buying. Point number 4, always remember that land has different shapes. So some people go to plots and then they say, this is shorter than 100, or this one is longer than 50. Always remember, there are standard plots and then there are those that are not standard. If it is standard, you will find one side is 100 feet and the other side is 50 feet. But then the shape can change. It can be a square. If it is a square, then you're not going to find 100 one side and 50 another side. You will find it is like 75 one side and 75 another side. It can also be 110 one side and 40 feet another side. It can also be 60 feet one side and another side 90 feet. It comes back to the same thing. So when you're buying land, or when you are trying to understand the size of your land, it's better that you don't only look at the length and width, and also look at the acreage. What is the size, what is the amount of land inside? The shape can change, but once the land inside is what you're looking for, then there is no problem. And of course, you also look at what you're going to do. If you are, for example, wanting to build a commercial building, then it's better for land that is spread along the road. You need it to be longer along the road, compared to one that is shorter on the road and then going off the road behind. You'll make more money when the plot is spread along the road. So as you look at the sizes, also understand shapes. Don't reject the land because it has not measured 100 feet one side. Consider the other side and you see whether the acreage is what you want. Number 5, I want to talk about a 50 by 100 plot because I know that's a standard plot and the majority of people in Uganda can afford only a 50 by 100 plot. So when you look at a land title, you will find 0.046 HA, that is hectares. You can cram that or write it somewhere so that if somebody wants to sell to your plot and they tell you it's a 50 by 100, see whether it is 0.046 0.046. In terms of decimals, it is equivalent to approximately 11.5 decimals. So whether somebody tells you 50 by 100 or they tell you 11.5 decimals, it means the same. If they tell you, let's say 11 decimals, know that it is slightly less. If they say 12 decimals, know that it is slightly more. Point number 6, I want to say that in life, things are rarely standard. So when somebody says an acre, it might not be an acre to the dot. For example, an acre is 100 decimals, a standard acre. But it can be 98 decimals. That is slightly less, but when you round it off, it comes to 100 decimals. So that can still be an acre. I compare it with a jerrycan of water. There can be a jerrycan of water which is 20 liters. But there can also be 19 liters. If somebody has it, they will also say this is a jerrycan of water. If it is 20.5 liters, it is still a jerrycan of water. Or let's use an example of sugar. If somebody has 1.2 kilograms of sugar, it is still a kilogram, even when there is something that goes beyond, or it might be lacking something small. So the same with land. So somebody can tell you this is a 50 by 100, but you find it is 11 decimals, not 11.5. So generally you can say that is still a 50 by 100, even when we know that there is something that is lacking, or it can be slightly more. It can be 11.7 decimals or 12 decimals. He can still say this is a 50 by 100, but if you measure, you'll find there is something that is slightly above. So in issues of land, don't expect it to be exact. Sometimes you'll not find what is exact. You'll find there is something either more or less. But what matters is it significant? If it is less than 50 by 100, is what is lacking very big that I will have missed? Sometimes you find what is missing or what is above is too small to notice with your eyes. A strip that is like the size of a finger. So that one may not make a very big difference. You can't refuse to buy that land simply because that tiny part is missing. Number 7, let's talk about an acre. Like I said, an acre is 100 decimals. And in 1 acre, you can have 8 50 by 100 plots. That is if it has a good shape. Or they can be 4 100 by 100 plots, because 100 by 100 plot has 2 50 by 100 plots. Number 8, you can cram the size of a 50 by 100 plot and a 100 by 100 plot to always help you understand the other plot sizes. For example, if you know that a 50 by 100 is 11.5 decimals, and somebody tells you I have 16 decimals, that tells you that approximately it is a 50 by 100 1.5 times. Number 9, please avoid those small plots, 5 30 by 20 feet. Those ones, and I really blame the estate people who are creating those tiny plots. It's like they are creating slums in Kampala. Lastly, number 10, you can use technology to also understand land sizes. When you type in Google, you can get tools that can help you convert. Put in the decimals and ask how many hectares, or put in